Welcome to Bet on NFL edition. It is a week 12. Let's bring in Marco D'Angelo, Gianni, the Greek gambler, Corrales, and I am Kelly Stewart. Guys, we already did a Thursday edition for Thanksgiving, so we're going to skip over that Thursday primetime game right into Sunday. We've got the Cleveland Browns at the Baltimore Ravens. We all know I love those divisional underdogs, especially getting over that field goal. Total 45.5. Marco, I'm going to kick it to you first, but my early lean here on Wednesday morning is the Browns.
Yeah, Kelly, I'm with you there. I like Cleveland in this one. Really, look at it. Who's going to want Cleveland after they barely beat Detroit at home last week? But you have to figure Cleveland might have got caught looking ahead. After all, they got Detroit on tap last week, but you've got Baltimore on a Sunday night game, a key divisional game. Cleveland had to feel they just had to show up and they would be able to win. I mean, hell, the Steelers, the worst they did was tie, and they just showed up with Mason Rudolph 2 weeks ago. Sorry, Kelly. I know it's too soon about that one, but that was a bad performance last week from Cleveland. I think you see a better performance from them this week. Yeah, there's the black cloud over Baker Mayfield. You know, he's banged up. He's not playing well. He'll be okay in this one, but you know what? If he struggles, don't be surprised if they go to the backup, and I'm okay with that. Case Keenum knows this offense. The key, I think, for Cleveland is the running game, and they got Nick Chubb last week. He had a big game last week for them. He rushed for 130 yards on 22 carries. Now, granted, that was against the Lions, but I got to tell you, Baltimore is no picnic defensively. In fact, Baltimore is the number 31 team out of 32. Think about that. Only the Jets are worse at yards per play. That's surprising for a Coach Harbaugh team. Not what you expect from Baltimore, but they are suspect. And I think Cleveland can take it to them at the point of attack in this game. And if they get that running game going, it does make Baker Mayfield better. Jarvis Landry back last week. Look for them to continue. Pull the upset in the wacky AFC North. You got to have a log jam at the top, and that would do it with a win by Cleveland. Let's go ahead and do it. Cleveland wins it Sunday night, 27-23.
I'm with you, Marco, there. I think this Ravens team has really struggled from time to time this year, and it seems to be in this division that they do so. VR, have you seen anything sharp come across your computer screen in regards to Sunday Night Football?
No, and I haven't gotten to the window yet on this game myself, but I personally like the Cleveland side and was tempted to grab that 3.5, even a 4 out there if you're willing to pay a little big. But again, there's not really much of a rush because there's days of betting ahead of us and people looking to double up, looking to catch up. A lot of lines will be moving. But the bottom line is this. Baltimore, which is a team that I'm high on, is a good hammer, but they're not a good nail. If you punch back or if you get ahead on them, they just don't react that well. You saw it with Miami when they lost that game. They lost here in Vegas. You saw it against Cincinnati in a game that got out of hand for them. Because again, they're a good hammer. If they get ahead like they did through the Chargers, they'll just smash you. They're not going to be able to do that against Cleveland unless Cleveland turns the ball over and makes a bunch of mistakes that are just random and none of us can predict. Because their defense should keep them in this game, if not get them a lead in this game. Just look at over their last 9 games. 6 of their last 9 opponents have scored 16 or less points. They haven't even got to 17. So as long as Cleveland could put up some points, this is a very winnable game. Their defense is going to keep them in games. Cleveland should be much better than their 6-5 record just because of this defense. But again, it's that offense that has to turn the corner if they're going to take the next step forward. But as far as Sunday night, getting 3.5 in this divisional game, very meaningful. I think the bias is shaded because it's a series that Baltimore's owned of late. And again, with Cleveland coming off that game against Detroit, which they barely won as 2-touchdown favorites, you are going to get a generous spot. And that's exactly what we got here. So it's Browns or pass right now for me.
All right, we're in agreement. Browns are pass for the Bet On It team. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, it's time for TNA with Ralph Michaels.
7 days for under $10 a day. There are 2 college football games Tuesday night, 4 NFL and 2 college football games on Thanksgiving, 16 college football games on Black Friday, plus a full Saturday and Sunday of college football and NFL action. Add in any NBA, college basketball, and NHL action, and it's an awesome week of sports. We are so very thankful that you are current or maybe a new client of WagerTalk, and we want to give you our best once-a-year price for a 7-day all-sport, all-access package. Enjoy the holiday with family and friends, and don't worry about missing plays throughout the week if you're traveling. That's right, only $69 for 7 full days of college football, NFL, NBA, college hoops, NHL, and any other plays your favorite capper releases. Happy Thanksgiving and safe travels for those hitting the road from our WagerTalk family to yours.
Welcome back to Bet On It. It is time for a little TNA with Mr. Ralph Michaels. Ralph, what have you dug up for us this week in the NFL?
Hey, Kel, happy Thanksgiving. I wanted to look at Thursday games, and I'm not necessarily talking about those teams playing Thanksgiving, but as I often do, when I'm reading stories about games and previews, reading newsletters, I like when people say this team has an edge because they're in this role. And the specific thing I read was coming off a Thursday game. It was talking about the Patriots last week. Coming off a Thursday game, this team has a significant edge late in the year with that extra day of rest or several extra days of rest. So you know me, I had to go to the database. And I went back to 2015. Now, when I'm looking at teams that are off a Thursday game, so teams like New England and like Atlanta that played Thursday the previous week, and they're now playing on Saturday or Sunday. When you look in September, those teams have covered 64.5%, and they've gone over the total 63.3%. So early in the year, definite edge coming off a Thursday game, and they've been overs. When we get to October, those teams have covered 57%, still a positive, but those teams in October off a Thursday game, only 42.1% to the over. That means 57.9% of those games went under the total. We are now in November. So when I read that team has a significant edge because they have a couple extra days of rest in November when the season wears on, guess what? Since 2015, teams in November off a Thursday game, 24 wins, 35 losses, 40.7%. So it is almost a 60% fade. It is not an edge. Perhaps psychologically it's an edge, but it has not been an edge over the last 5 years with the stats. When I look at the total, 43.8% to the over, so another big under month. And when I go to December, 47.6% against the spread and 43.8%. So teams like New England and Atlanta coming off a Thursday game, teams like the 6 teams that are playing tomorrow and next week in November, a 40.7% ATS roll and a 56% under roll in those games.
That's pretty interesting, Ralph, because that is such a handicap that we hear so often, that a team has extra rest or not enough rest, if you will. Maybe we'll get you to do a chart after playing on Monday next week.
Perfect. And a sort of a light week today. It's Thanksgiving week. So I just pulled out 3 that are very easy to use, 3 systems that, are in my list of things that I'm going in. First is We talked about this last week, and it won easy with Arizona over Seattle. And it is now 67% against the spread, and it's easy. A division team playing with a bye on deck. It's that simple. The Browns are playing the Ravens this week. They have a bye on deck. That situation, 34-17 ATS, 67%. I will mention next Sunday, the Colts fall into that category against the Texans. And next Monday, the Patriots fall in that category against the Bills. So division teams with a bye on deck, Cleveland this week, Indianapolis and New England next week. How about teams that are off a bye, are on the road, and scored 21 points or less in their previous game? I'm talking about the LA Rams. The LA Rams on the road this week. They're coming off a bye, and they scored 21 points or less last week. Those teams have been in a positive situation, going 44-23 ATS. That is 65.7%. And that would lead us to the Rams against the Packers. And one of my all-time favorites, Cal, we've talked about this each of the last several years. We have a team coming in off a straight-up an ATS win. So you won the game and you covered the game. You're playing an opponent off a straight-up and ATS loss. And the lines are between the threes. A hot team versus a cold team, and basically a pick-em game. 26-10 against the spread. That is 72%. The teams that won and covered against the teams that failed to do so, Washington against Seattle, and the Texans against the New York Jets. The last one, in college, we talked about teams that got outgained by 120 yards. This one's pretty close with a different result. In the NFL, if you were out-yarded, so your opponent had more yards than you, but you won the game as a dog, and now you're a favorite, 47-27, 63.5%. That says take the Texans as well. So two of the systems we talked about the Texans, one on Washington, one on the Rams, one on the Browns this week, and the Colts and Patriots for next week.
Great stuff from Ralph, as always. Make sure you guys are giving him a follow at Cal Sports LV. Ralph, we will see you next week. Let's bring in Marco and VR for their teasers for Week 12 of the NFL.
Like our videos, then subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification button so you'll always be the first to know when there's new content available.
Lots of teaser spots for this week. And Marco on the Thanksgiving show already gave one leg of his away. So I'll kick it off with him.
All right, Kelly. Yeah, and I'll tell you what, if you see I've got a teaser up on my site for sale, don't buy it. It's my gift to you right here. Thanksgiving. This is the teaser I gave my clients. We took Dallas on Thursday. Already explained that. But who did we hook them with? Well, we're going to go with the Denver Broncos. We're getting a home underdog, tease through all the key numbers of 3, 4, 6, and 7. And they've had 2 weeks to prepare. We've got a LA Charger team that even when they win, 4 of their 5 wins this season have been by 7 points or less. They're not a margin team. And I kind of expect a big game from Teddy Bridgewater this week. You know, he's had 2 weeks to hear about his impression of a bullfighter in the last game when he went ole and let him go through. Didn't make that tackle in the Philadelphia game. I know our producer enjoyed that play a lot for the Philadelphia Eagles, but you add it all up, I think we've got a live home dog. I add the 6 points, makes them in an even better position, and it's a total that's in the 40s. So every point's valuable. Go ahead and tease Dallas and Denver for your 2-team teaser. Don't wait on it. As I said on the Thursday show, you're not going to lose any value with the Denver side of it, but Dallas is going to go game day. I expect to 9 when the teaser blockers come in. So don't wait. You'll lose the number.
Yeah, I think we're going to be losing that sooner than later. So like Marco said, if you like the Dallas leg, You need to bet it now. I also have Denver as one of the legs of my teaser. VR, give us your wongable teaser of the week.
Yeah, right now, as we go to tape, here are the teams you could wong. Dallas, -1.5. Denver, +8.5. Jacksonville, +8.5. What is that? Is that the New York Jets, +8.5? And Miami, +7.5. Those are wongable. Now, I'll probably choose the wrong one and get a loss because I think I have so many teaser losses on the show, and I haven't given a teaser all season. If I'm going to bet the wongs, I do them all or none at all. Because I know what the edge is. And to gain that edge, you need long-term results. The only way to do that is place a lot of bets. So every Wong teaser or no Wong teaser for me. But I'm going to go again with Marco. I agree. Dallas at home and the number and the total. And not to waste more time, I chose Denver as well. So Dallas -1.5, Denver +8.5. Hopefully it don't cost me this week.
I hope it doesn't either because Dallas, Denver, Miami, the Jets, and the Colts, VR is correct. Do them all or don't do them. I'm doing all 4 combinations there. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, Steam Game of the Week. Maybe the deli's back open. Either way, we've got some barking dogs for you.
A Black Friday quiz, which is better? 1, paying $349 for a 1-month all access, or 2, paying $244.30 for 1 month all access. The day after Thanksgiving, we want to continue giving thanks by giving all of our customers 30% off anything priced at $149 or more. A Black Friday sale was always a once-a-year chance to buy something at big discount, and this is it. Even better, we are running this promotion Black Friday through the end of Cyber Monday and making coupon code THANKS30 have unlimited uses. Whether it's a single sport package, a 30-day all access, a full season of college hoops, or a full 12 months from your favorite handicapper, you will save 30% with coupon THANKS30. You can fill your goodie bag as many times as you want until the clock strikes midnight on Monday.
All right, V already gave out his Steam Game of the Week on the Thanksgiving show, so we're going to skip over that and go right into asking Marco, is the deli open?
Well, Kelly, the deli is open this week, but we got a dilemma. It is the battle of the sandwiches. Who've been the 2 most famous sandwiches that we had this season? Is it going to be Houston? Is it going to be the Jets? Let's see. Sandwich. All right, we're going to New York Jets. That's the sandwich this week. Yeah, okay. I wish you could see Kelly. She's holding her nose. No. Kelly, you said the same thing when we had Houston last week. Sometimes it's good for you. Just trust me. This one is going to be all right. And last week, Houston was pretty sweet for us with their win. But let's be realistic. They caught Tennessee in the absolute worst sandwich spot they could be in. They were coming off 6 wins in a row, 5 major games in a row. Then they played the game in a rainstorm. And oh, by the way, they were +5 in the turnovers. Everything went their way. And let's stop and think about that for a second. They won the game 22-13 last week. +5 turnovers. Do I have to say that again? They had 5 extra possessions. They only won by 9 points. You know the math. If a team has +3 in turnovers, they almost always win in the NFL. 4, forget about it. 5, it's a lock. This is a team that didn't even have 200 total yards of offense last week. 190 yards of offense. All right, so why do I want the Jets? They're no great shakes here either. Last week, they lost at home to Miami. Well, they played competitive. The game was closer than the 7-point finish. At the end, it was a 10-point game, and they elected to kick the field goal when they were deep down there where they could have got the touchdown and gave their Jet backers the backdoor cover. But, you know, you're down 2 scores. You need to kick a field goal at some point. So they decided to kick the field goal with 15 seconds left in the game. Yeah, that was smart. But I'm going to go with them here. Zach Wilson's going to be back for the Jets. I don't know if that's a major upgrade, but I got to say, anything is better than a statue that was back there last week in Joe Flacco. I think in a 40-yard dash, I would hold my own against Joe Flacco, okay? And I'm not that fast. Put a couple chicken wings at the finish line, and I can get there. But I'm going with the Jets here. We're going to take them. We've got a system play that I like when it's not just to a team, it's to the league. This is league-wide in the NFL. Play road underdogs after being beaten by the spread by 35 or more points over their last 5 games combined. If they are a bad team, which means a winning percentage of 25% or less, those teams, the last 10 years in the NFL, if you blindly bet those dogs, those road dogs, Kelly, 43-18 against the spread. And for the sandwich part of this, who does Houston have? They just finished beating division rival Tennessee. Next week, they got the other division big gun, Indianapolis, on deck. That means we're going New York Jets. Jets, Jets,
What?
Jets.
God, Marco, I don't know. How miserable of an existence is this going to be for me? That's why I think the Jets are better in a teaser. Okay, as I mentioned, the Steam game is in the Thanksgiving show, so we're going to move right along, and that means it's time for some Barking Dogs VR. Who is your barking dog for NFL Week 12?
And this is going to be just as quick because it's on the Jets, Jets. I know it's an ugly dog, but the bottom line is this line's just way too high. It's any points being given by Houston is too many points. That's the difference here. Let me tell you what their rushing success rate is. They are 31st in the NFL. Their passing success rate, 26th in the NFL. You're not getting anything done like that. I'll take the Jets where I see at least rushing the football, their success rate. They're 6th in the NFL in passing success rate. And getting the QB back, at least that's what it shows on ESPN, they're 18th. I'll take the much, much, much better offense. When you look at the defensive metrics, they're right there. One's like 27th, one's 28th in the rush. And then against the pass, one's like 19th, the other one's 20th. They're like defense, their metrics are just about identical. And offense, the Jets are far superior. And I'm going to get points. It's just an easy bet to make. And if this isn't recency bias on the Houston side, nothing is. Let's not forget, Houston hasn't been favored this entire season. There's no business making them favored this week, regardless who they're playing. At the very least, the book should have simply put out a pick 'em and let the market decide. But instead, they wanted to get sharp and get smart and cute, and they got slapped when Sharp took the +3. Well, you could still take the 2.5 because that's still 2.5 too many from Houston. I like the Jets.
For the love of God, you guys, I don't even know what to do here. I guess I got to take the Jets. Marco, who is your barking dog for this week in the NFL?
Oh, Kelly, if you thought that was fun, wait for this one. And I just want to tell everybody that's watching the show, there's a strong possibility in the next 10 seconds my mic is going to go muted because our producer is not going to like this selection. We are going with the New York Football Giants. We're making it an all New York weekend, and Kelly is puking off air right now as I'm going to talk her into the New York Giants. Guys, Philadelphia, they're on a roll. Look at them. They've won 3 of their last 4 games, and they have been the betting sharps darling. I have not seen every Sunday the money pours in on the Eagles. Well, you know what? A couple of the teams that it poured in on were bad teams, and they got them in the right spot. They beat Denver in Denver. Denver was coming off that big upset of Dallas. They were feeling a little fat and sassy. Then last week they caught New Orleans, back-to-back road games, coming off a game in which they almost won at Tennessee. They went for the 2-point conversion at the end for the tie, missed it, lose by 2, gut-wrenching loss. But here's the thing. Philadelphia is living on running the football. That is what's turned this team around. You look at their last 4 games, 236, 176, 214, 242 on the ground. Yeah, we've said it time and time again. If you can run the football, it's going to make your quarterback much better. And that's what's happened. Here's the problem. The New York Giants, last 4 games, they've allowed 56, 107, 117, and 94 yards on the ground. Philadelphia is not going to have that success on the ground. So let's see Jalen Hurts be successful when the running game isn't going through gaping holes. And it's a division rivalry. And everybody saw the Monday night game. The Giants looked pathetic. Jason Garrett gets the boot with the offense. Nobody's going to want the Giants. That's when I want them. When everybody says they're done, I'll put them on my plate. I'll take that ugly-looking home dog. They're going to bark loud. Philadelphia, road favorite in a division game? Are you kidding me? No. Let's call it Giants 23-20. I hope my mic was still live for all of that. Sorry, Dan.
Oh my, Marco making friends all over the place. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, it's time for Best Bets.
Have you checked out all the new handicappers at Sports Memo? If not, here's your chance. We want to give thanks to all of you Thanksgiving week by discounting everything at Sports Memo through Monday, November 29th by 40% using coupon code THANKS40. This coupon code can be used on anything and everything from daily packages to 12-month all-access passes. Our new handicapping roster of experts is strong, giving you tons of options to choose from. All you have to do to redeem our Thanksgiving offer is go to sportsmemo.com, choose a handicapper of your choice, use coupon code THANKS40 at checkout, and save 40% on your purchase, and repeat as many times as you want until the clock strikes midnight on Monday.
Welcome back to Bet On It. Is now time for NFL Best Bets. And I found a mythical 3 with the Indianapolis Colts. Of course, it was going to move to 3 because Tampa Bay looked so good on Monday night, but that was at home against a New York Giants team. Yeah, Marco, the same team that you said was barking this week and upset our producer. This is not a play necessarily on the Indianapolis Colts, though I do think the key to their run game is Jonathan Taylor. Run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. Do what Frank Wright does best, control that clock and keep Mr. Tom Brady off the field. But again, this is a play against that Tampa Bay team that looked so great on Monday night because they're back on the road where they don't cover. For whatever reason, this has been a horrific team on the road, and I'm going to keep playing against it. And if it's not broke, why try to fix it? Give me the field goal with the Indianapolis Colts. Marco, who is your best bet for this week in the NFL?
Well, Kelly, I'll steal your line. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. We went against Green Bay last week, and that worked out. Coach Zimmer did us right, but Kelly, he didn't do you right. I saw a very disturbing article on Twitter yesterday about Zimmer and his new girlfriend, and I'm sorry about that. You okay with that? I'm sorry, Kelly. Hey, he does like blondes, though. I will say that. This is a spot where we're going to go with the LA Rams. Knee-jerk reaction is everybody's going to say Aaron Rodgers is not going to lose 2 games in a row. You know, it's a good team. It's a superstar quarterback. Can't happen, right? Well, just 2 weeks ago, didn't Tom Brady lose back-to-back games? Who would have thunk that? Yeah, he lost to the Saints, which we all were on the Saints in that game, but everybody expected him to bounce back the next week against Washington. No, they didn't. Washington had playoff revenge. They got the job done. How about these very same Rams? They lost a Sunday night football game to Tennessee. Then they're back on Monday night football the very next week. They're not going to lose back-to-back games, are they? Well, they got skunked in that one as the 49ers steamrolled them on Monday Night Football. So, yes, these good teams can lose 2 in a row, and I expect that here. But then you're going to say, well, West Coast teams coming into Lambeau, quarterbacks struggle there playing late November, December games. You know what? Yeah, maybe so. It's not going to be the case here. Who's the quarterback for the Rams? Matthew Stafford. How many games has he played in Lambeau? Every year that he's been in the league since he played at Detroit, plays there once a year. So that won't be a problem. How about let's look at the stats in this game? Defensively, the two teams are about the same. Green Bay's number 6, Rams number 9, 5.4, 5.5 yards per play allowed. The difference, though, is on offense. The Rams are the number 1 offensive team at yards per play. It's 6.3. Green Bay, not bad. They come in number 14 at 5.9. The problem with Green Bay, though, is prior to last week scoring 31 points in the loss to Minnesota, they had went 5 straight games scoring 24 or fewer points. Yeah, they're moving the ball up and down the field, but they're not punching it in for the scores. I'm going to go ahead and go with the Rams. They've had 2 weeks to prepare for this game. The last time we saw them, they were ugly on Monday Night Football. I love taking teams that looked ugly on those primetime games because you get built-in line value. And really, you look at this one, I could have used this as the trap scenario. As bad as the Rams have looked the last 2 weeks, you've got Green Bay at home in a pick'em. Come on, guys. Doesn't that look a little bit too easy to grab Green Bay? When it looks that easy, it generally never is. And finally, from a need standpoint, and I hate to play teams based solely on need, but I gave you all the other reasons why. The Rams need this game much more than Green Bay needs it. Green Bay's got a 3-game lead in a very soft division. The Rams are chasing the Arizona Cardinals. They cannot afford another loss. They're already 2 back in the win column. They need to get this game while Arizona's on a bye. I'm going with the Rams as my best bet. 31-23, LA Rams.
I do lean that side, Marco. Guess I'll be getting involved since it's your best bet this week. VR, who is your best bet for this week in the NFL?
It's a Thursday game on Thanksgiving, and I released as a 3% play to my subscribers at Buffalo -5.5. It's 6 at most places, no big difference there. And the reason's simple. Back in the day, I would have been looking at the other side and thinking this is so square. I mean, everyone's going to tease Buffalo just to win the game. It's the last game on Thanksgiving. It's the favorite. Everyone's going to bet them, especially how the Saints have looked, losing 3 straight. That's not necessarily the case. And I could care less what the public bets or doesn't bet. That's what I've learned. Unless you're a bookmaker getting 11-10, that's all nonsense. The only thing that matters is how the market reacts to that betting action and if it does or not. And here's the reasoning for it. You saw the tailspin for New Orleans as soon as Jameis went down. And say what you want about Jameis Winston, but when he went down, he was 5th in the NFL in QBR. He was tied for 3rd with only 3 interceptions, and he was getting the job done for the Saints. Right now, they're in a lot of trouble. They have no one to throw the football. If you're depending on Trevor Siemian with a QBR of 36.9, good luck with that. And you're seeing that's been the problem with the Saints. And even though their defense is so dominant, you can only patch things up for so long before the defense just can't hold anymore. And that's exactly what's happened to them over the last 3 weeks. Little by little, the cracks just get bigger and bigger. Because if your offense isn't getting it done and they're having 3 and outs, or turning the ball over, there's only so much effort your defense could put out. If you're not able to put points on the board, if you're not able to win football games, and they're not winning football games. Flip side, Buffalo coming off a loss like that, they've answered. Every time they lost this season, they answered the following week and did so in dominant fashion. I don't think that changes here. And finally, the metrics. I'll get back to that success rate on running and passing. Buffalo, number 1 and number 6 offensively, number 5, number 2 defensively. Doesn't get more well-rounded than that. New Orleans, their defense is very impressive. Number 1 against the run, number 6 against the pass. But the problem is offensively, you're 24th against the run, 25th against the pass. little by little, that defensive efficiency is going to get worse and worse and worse. Because again, defense takes even more effort than the offense does. And you're seeing it just in front of us happen where this team's going to start little less and less. And this has come from someone who's a Saints fan and has a Saints future that you could already toss in the trash. Because again, with the quarterback situation, they're not winning anything. So give me Buffalo, lay the points, square pick. But I bet it. And like I said, that's what I got so far this week. So that's what I'm sharing. Hope you cash them, don't trash them. And happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. Stay safe. God bless. And smash that like button. Do us that favor and keep the support coming. We appreciate it.
We do appreciate it. We are going to take our last commercial break. When we return, it's time for the recap for all of you that don't appreciate it.
7 days for under $10 a day. There are 2 college football games Tuesday night, 4 NFL and 2 college football games on Thanksgiving, 16 college football games on Black Friday, plus a full Saturday and Sunday of college football and NFL action. Add in any NBA, college basketball, and NHL action, and it's an awesome week of sports. We are so very thankful that you are current or maybe a new client of WagerTalk, and we want to give you our best once-a-year price for a 7-day all-sport, all-access package. Enjoy the holiday with family and friends, and don't worry about missing plays throughout the week if you're traveling. That's right, only $69 for 7 full days of college football, NFL, NBA, college hoops, NHL, and any other plays your favorite capper releases. Happy Thanksgiving and safe travels for those hitting the road from our WagerTalk family to yours.
Welcome back to Bet On It. It is time for the recap. You want to know what we like on Thursday? Got to go watch our Thanksgiving show. As for Sunday night football, we're all in agreement. It is the Browns for Team Bet On It. Teasers this week, Dallas and Denver are our favorite ones. I also have one with the Indianapolis Colts. And yeah, the New York Jets. Speaking of the New York Jets, that is Marco's sandwich game and VR's barking dog. He gave out a Steam game on Thanksgiving. I'll share with you guys now, though. And that is the Vegas Dallas over 51.5. Marco with another stinky underdog, needs a bath, maybe has potential fleas. That would be the New York Giants plus 3.5. My best bet this week is the Indianapolis Colts. VR said Thursday night, it is Buffalo over the Saints. And Marco said, don't fall for it. The Rams are the pick this week in Green Bay. Thank you guys for hanging out with us each and every single week from Gianni, Marco, Ralph, and myself. I hope you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Good luck on this crazy weekend of sports. Until next week, let's bet on it.